Having the right campaign setup for your Amazon PPC campaigns can make or break you on Amazon. I've seen this time and time again. People have the wrong setup and they lose thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars on their PPC campaigns. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly step by step the perfect campaign structure, why I think it's the perfect campaign structure, and how to set up a campaign the right way so you're not losing any money. All right, guys, I'm going to jump right into my computer here and I'm going to show you everything. All right, guys, so I'm in Seller Central and I am going to click on the menu. Click on Advertising Campaign Manager. It's going to take me here. So I have this loaded up already. Here's where the campaigns are, right? All of my campaigns. Now, let me talk about campaign structure before I get into anything because I think that's very important. Here's my ideal campaign structure. One campaign, one ad group, no more than 5 keywords. Let me explain why. So why do I have only one ad group in the campaign, not multiple ad groups? Here's the deal, right? So let me explain like campaign versus ad group. Campaign is kind of like a folder that has ad groups. The ad groups are like inside of the campaign and they hold keywords. So keywords are basically what gets advertised. They're held inside of an ad group and multiple ad groups are held inside of a campaign. Now, the reason that I only do one, ideally you would have a lot of different ad groups in a campaign. But the reason that we only do one is because you cannot set a budget on an ad group level. If you could, that would be ideal because then everything would be so much more organized. But because you can't do that, let's say that you have a campaign on Amazon and you put 2 ad groups in it and you have a $100 daily budget. What's going to happen is you're going to expect that $50 will go to ad group 1 and $50 will go to ad group 2. But what actually happens is instead of that, you have $20 going to ad group 1 and $80 going to ad group 2 or 30 and 70, whatever. You can't control it. Amazon controls it. And so you're like, okay, why are you only sending $20 or $30 to this ad group? Even though a lot of times those keywords are actually way more profitable. But here's the difference. The other ad group probably sells more units, even if you're selling it at a loss. Amazon doesn't care if you sell at a loss, right? Because Amazon's going to make money on the commission for selling on their platform. Amazon's going to make money on the fulfillment fee. Amazon's going to make money on the PPC. It makes money all different ways. It does not care if you actually are not profitable. It's actually better for them if you're not profitable because it means that they're taking more money from you in terms of PPC. And then these other profitable keywords, they're selling less, even though they could be way more profitable, but because you have them combined with these other keywords, you know, the budget just goes to the other ones. So that's what you have to pay attention to. That's what you have to be careful about is not adding more than one ad group. So one campaign, one ad group. Now, why do I do no more than 5 keywords? I'm going to open up this campaign. It's right here. This is the campaign. And then I'm going to open up this ad group, which is this right here. So this ad group has 2 keywords. Obviously, I don't have any campaigns that have too many keywords, so I can't demonstrate this because everything's optimized. But this is like last 30 days. What I can do is go last 30 days, sort by sales. So you can see this one's generating, 1,100 in sales. This one's 600 in sales. If I have 50 keywords and I do this and I sort by sales and I look, I'm going to see the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keywords are generating decent sales. And then beyond that, it starts like diminishing. Like, keyword 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is maybe making 2 or 3 sales. And then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, just 1 sale. And then that's it. Like then they're not making any sales. So anything that's not making sales, what's the point of having it inside the campaign? It's not doing anything. It's not generating sales. So I would pause those keywords and move them to their own campaign so you can actually give them a chance. The reason that this happens, in my opinion, is because look at this keywords. It has 111,000 impressions. It's spending a lot of money, 767. So Amazon's pushing all of the budget here. Instead of going to keyword number 30 or 40, that could be way more profitable than this keyword, but because this keyword has a lot more search volume and it's able to spend more money, it takes all the budget, right? Amazon's just going to optimize for which keyword is going to most likely generate you more sales, even if it's not profitable sales. It cares about making you more sales. So that's why I don't like to put more than 5 keywords in a campaign. So one campaign, one ad group, no more than 5 keywords. Now, the final thing that I want to touch on is campaign budget. I do not like to go anywhere under $100. Now, you'll notice here, like I have $50. This is a mistake. This is probably someone's testing something and they made a mistake. But I like to stay at $100 minimum. The reason is Amazon will throttle your performance and they will put a cap on you if it feels like you don't have enough money to spend. And then you're going to be like, Mina, damn, I don't want to spend 100 plus 100 plus 50 plus 150 plus 100 plus 100 a day. That's way too much. But if you look at my spend here, this is yesterday. This is an exception, right? Because we have like a cap on it, so we can actually spend double the daily budget. But look at this one, $32 out of 50. 18 out of 100, 11 out of 150, 10 out of 100. It's not spending the whole budget because it's based on the bids. So we control the spend based on the bids. So if I have a $100 budget on my campaign and I have 30-cent bid, I'm going to show up on page 6. So how many people make it to page 6? Not that many. And how many people are going to click on me once they're on page 6? Even less. So because of that, I'm not spending that much money. And as I increase my bids to 70 cents, 80 cents, $1, I'm going to move up the pages to page 4, 3, 2. And depending on where I am on those pages, that's how much money I'm going to spend. So if I'm not somewhere like super prominent, like page 1, I'm not going to spend that much money. But definitely if you have a high bid and you're on page 1 and you have a $100 daily budget, you're going to spend it all. If you're top of page 1, you're going to spend it all. But if you're page 3, because you're controlling your spend based on your bids, you're not going to spend that much money and you're going to be able to control it. And this way, you don't throttle yourself. Amazon's like, okay, this person has enough budget to spend. Show them as much times as possible, as many times as possible, in the position that they belong based on the bid. And if we find that sweet spot, we're going to make a lot of money. So this is the ideal campaign structure. And now let me go into creating a campaign. So as you saw, I clicked create a campaign. Now there's multiple campaign types. There's sponsored product, sponsored brand, sponsored display, and TV. Ignore TV because it's like for most 99.99% of people, it's not going to make you any money. Sponsored products will generate 80 to 90% of all of your revenue, and it's the best type of ad to run because it looks very native. People don't detect it. Sponsored brand is, headline search ads and video ads, and I'll show you an example in a second. But sponsored brands are okay to run, but they can cannibalize sponsored products. So you can put this ad, Amazon will tell you that it's performing really well, but in fact, it's not performing that well. It's actually just sucking sales from this that's already doing well. And then sponsored display is kind of like different placements, like bars at the top on the side. You can see, I think if you scroll like this, yep, you can see the different places where it shows. Right? All these bars and things on the side. It does audience targeting, so it can do like retargeting for people who looked at your product but haven't purchased and things like that. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about sponsored display or sponsored brand initially. I would focus on sponsored product, which is here in the search and also on product pages. So let me show you quickly on Amazon. So I'm here on Amazon, I'm typing electrolyte powder. So this is headline search ad. This is a sponsored brand ad. These that say sponsored and they look like the organic one, this is all sponsored product ads. And this is, as you can see here, this is organic, right? If we keep scrolling down, these are also sponsored product ads. Again, 4 stars and above. Keep going until we find the video. Oh, and there we go. This is the sponsored video, another sponsored brand ad. So these are the ads. And then you can see here, this is a sponsored display or an Amazon DSP ad. They kind of take up the same real estate. Again, another sponsored display or DSP ad. And then usually there's like a thin bar somewhere up here that's a sponsored display ad. And then if we go all the way to the bottom, this is, sponsored display ad or DSP ad. This is a sponsored brand ad. And then this is me right here. So let's go back to building a campaign. I'm in here. I'm going to click sponsor products. Now, first things first, it's going to ask you what do you want your ad group name to be. So in here, this is the way that I do my campaign nomenclature. First of all, my campaign name and my ad group name are the exact same. I have a product code, which is hard work unflavored. And then I have the match type. Let's say like I'm going to do an exact campaign. So it'll be an exact keyword campaign. And then I'll put the purpose of this campaign. So I'll say like, let's say ranking, for example. If there's no purpose, you don't have to put anything. Then I'm going to put the source of these keywords. So let's put the search term report, for example. And then I'll put like 1 because there's going to be, a lot of them. Now it's going to tell me what product do you want to add. So we got the name, right? I said hard work unflavored. So I'm probably going to add the hard work unflavored version, right? Hard work unflavored. One thing that I suggest, if you guys have variations, is to add all of your variations inside of your campaigns. And then from there, I'm going to remove the variations that are not actually active. So let's get rid of some of these ones that I have not launched yet. Okay, so I have all of them in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this campaign. And after like a week or two, I'm going to look at and see the performance of the different variations and only keep the best performer. Okay. Now it's going to ask me for targeting. You have automatic targeting or manual targeting. With automatic targeting, you have different match types. So you have close match, loose match, complements, and substitutes. So in here, you have close match, loose match, complements, and substitutes. If you want to create a close match campaign, you just have to pause these other types and only have one match type. I highly recommend that you only have one match type. Now, what do these mean? Close match is closely related keywords. Loose match is loosely related keywords. Substitutes is basically competitor products, and complements are complementary products. So that's for automatic targeting. These are the different targeting groups. You can choose one. I suggest you only have one in each one. The reason is close match will perform way better, let's say, than loose match and complements. And if it's performing well, you want to increase the budget, increase the bid. But if it has loose match and complements performing terribly in there, you're also increasing the budget for these other ones. So I keep them separate so I can have more control. And then from here, I'm going to set the bid. So you can start with a suggested bid. I like to always start low. So I'll start with $1, for example, and then I'll go from there. And then you can add negative exact and negative phrase keywords. Negative exact will negative that exact keyword. So if there's a certain keyword that did not perform well, you can add it as a negative exact so it doesn't show up anymore. And then for negative phrase, if there's any keyword that has this word in it, it will negative it. And I strongly suggest you do not use negative phrase unless it's a keyword that you for sure know doesn't apply at all to anything. So for example, let's say like you're selling a credit card holder and the keyword vaccine card holder shows up. Obviously, your credit card holder will not hold a vaccine card. So you want to maybe negative phrase the keyword vaccine because it's like, I will never use that keyword. Okay. So that's for automatic campaigns. For manual campaigns, you have keyword targeting and product targeting. So for keyword targeting, you can go with Amazon suggested, and right here it's going to tell you the keyword and it's going to tell you your impression share and your impression rank. So impression share means what percentage of the impressions that you're getting, and then impression rank, the closer to 1 it is, the better. So you can see here, impression rank is where your impression share stands relative to other advertisers. So here I have 100% impression share and my impression rank is 1, which means I'm dominating. This is electrolyte powder, so it's a mistake. But electrolyte powder, for example, I have 0 impression share, so I'm not showing up at all. Potassium supplement, same thing. Hydration powder, 7.4%, and I'm ranked number 2. This one, electrolyte powder packet, 0.19%, and I'm ranked position 7. Or I'm like the 7th in the category, which means there's room for improvement. So I can choose any of these keywords. And this is sorted by orders. So this is just kind of, you can sort by the orders, like how well you're performing in terms of orders or clicks. I suggest that you only do one match type at a time and you add those keywords. Or again, you can enter the list and say, electrolyte powder, electrolyte supplement. And by the way, guys, I have another video on how to do keyword research and how to choose all of these keywords. So stay tuned for that. It's going to come out with Bradley Sutton, Bradley of Helium 10. So he's an expert in keyword research. But for now, you're putting in your keywords here. You're choosing one match type at a time. It's going to tell you what you want to do with the bid. Like I said, I always like to start with kind of a lower, more conservative bid so I don't spend that much money. And then I'll work up from there. No problem. And same thing with the negatives here. Now, let's move down to campaign bidding strategy. There's 3 types of bidding strategies. Dynamic up and down, which means Amazon can increase or decrease your bids by up to 100% if it thinks that you are going to convert better or worse. I hate dynamic up and down. I only use it sometimes when I need to kind of jump start and get a lot of clicks and a lot of sales. Down only is the lower the bids in real time when the ad is less likely to convert. That's the one I usually use. Fixed bids, they won't change anything. And now bid adjustment, this is a placement adjustment. So you have 3 types of placements. Top of search, first page, which means it's going to show up in the top of the search for the first page. Rest of search, so anywhere in the rest of the search, or product pages, in the product page. Now, what you can do is if you see that performance for the top of the search is much better than these other ones, you can put a percentage here and say, I'm willing to increase the bids on my keywords by up to 50% if and only if they show up to the top of search first page. So a 1.8 bid will be a 2.7 bid only for this placement. Then we get into campaign names. So we copy the ad group name, paste it. It's going to ask me for portfolio. I always like to separate my campaigns in a specific portfolio. So in this case, it's going to be, hard work unflavored, hydrolyte unflavored for this one. And then when's the start date today? No end date. What is the daily budget? Remember, we said $100 minimum. In this case, they're suggesting 130. So I'll just go to 150. And then once I put that in, let's see about forecast. Okay, so I need at least 3 keywords for a forecast. So let's add electrolytes powder. Let's add that one. Okay, let's do suggested bid. So 297, let's do 3. Let's do 3. Oh, this one needs to be, let's do 6. Just because I want to show you guys the forecast. Okay, now it's telling me based on $130 that I will most likely get 1 to 30 clicks a week and 1 to 20 orders a week. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of cool. I'm not sure how accurate it is, to be honest. I wouldn't even look at it, but that's pretty much it, guys. So to recap, you know, ad group name and campaign name are going to be the same. Product code, match type. What's the purpose of this campaign? Doesn't need to have a purpose. It could just be, you know, a campaign that you're looking to test different keywords. Where did the keywords come from? Make sure to put in a portfolio. I like to separate portfolios by parent ASIN. So keep each parent, you know, in one portfolio. Start date, no end date, minimum $100 daily budget. Then we get into the products. Add the products that you want to target, the, you know, parent ASINs with all the child variations. I like to add all of the child variations together first. Test which ones perform the best. Pause the ones that are not performing. Keep the ones that are performing. Automatic targeting versus manual targeting. I explained the difference. Auto is like, you know, Amazon will go and discover keywords for you. Manual, you have to put in your own keywords. There's keyword targeting or there's product targeting. So keyword targeting is keywords. Product targeting is you're going after other products. You can click on suggested keywords or product targets or add your own list. Separate by match type. So one campaign for broad, one campaign for phrase, one campaign for exact. No more than 5 keywords. Add your different keywords. Choose a bid. I like to start lower and then work my way up. Add negatives. I suggest you wait for negatives and you only add them after you don't perform well. If one keyword did bad in one campaign, does not mean it's going to do bad in the other campaigns. And then I like to go with dynamic bids down only. It's more conservative. Up and down usually spends more money, and fixed, you know, I haven't seen a big difference between fixed and dynamic bid down only. With bid by placement, I usually start with nothing and I wait until I have data, and then I will, you know, do a bid by placement based on the data. So if a placement performs better, I'll increase the bid by placement there, and that's it. And then click launch campaign and we're done, guys. All right, guys, hopefully this was helpful and you learned a lot. I have another amazing video you should check out. It's how to optimize your Amazon PPC campaigns. So now that you've set everything up correctly, this is how to optimize it. And I understand that Amazon PPC can be very difficult. So if you need any help or anything like that, feel free to reach out to my team. We're happy to help in any way. We don't have to charge you. We do a lot of free consultations. We give out a lot of free resources. So link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video.